Boys and girls, today we are going to talk about inferencing. And you should have read the story Enemy Pie. I thought it was a really cute story. I enjoyed reading it. And we are going to talk about inferencing today. Making inferences. In this story, the narrator learns something important about enemies and friends. We are going to see if we can infer or figure out what that is. To infer, boys and girls, is to figure something out by using context clues in the story when the narrator or the author might not tell us specifically. So that is what we're going to do up here. We're going to read the first sentence of the story. You are in your Skill Builders worksheets. I sent this home in your bundle with your parents on Friday. And you are looking at the first page here. It says, it should have been a perfect summer. It should have been a perfect summer. What can you infer? What can you figure out about how the narrator's summer is indeed turning out? How does the phrase should have help you to understand the narrator's feelings about the summer? So if it should have been the perfect summer, I'm assuming that it must not be the perfect summer he was hoping for. Do you agree with me from that phrase, should have been? So here it says, how does the phrase should have help you to understand the narrator's feelings about the summer? It should have been the perfect summer, but it was not so far the perfect summer that he was hoping for. So I would write something like that here on these lines. Next it says, we are going to look at this paragraph from the story. While the pie cooked, he filled me in on my job. There is one part of enemy pie, son, that I cannot do. You need to spend the day with your enemy. Even worse, you must be nice to him. That is the only way enemy pie can work. Are you sure you want to go through with this? Why do you think Daddy really wants the narrator to spend the day with the enemy? Do you think the daddy really wants his son to be punished? No, I don't think so either. What do you think the dad knows? The dad feels pretty sure that if these two boys spend the day together, they're more than likely going to find out that they enjoy one another's company. So on these lines here, why do you think Dad really wants the narrator to spend the day with his enemy? He wants the boys to get to know one another. All right, moving on. Question number 3. Think about this section from the story. Dad said, it's sure nice having a new friend in the neighborhood. Oh, excuse me. Dad, I said, it sure is nice having a new friend in the neighborhood. I was trying to tell him that Jeremy was no longer my enemy, but Dad only smiled and nodded. I think he was just pretending. What is the narrator trying to get Dad to figure out from his words? Does the little boy want his dad to feed him the enemy pie? We know the little boy certainly thinks the pie is poisonous. Do you think Dad understands what his son is trying to tell him? It says Dad smiled and nodded. Do you think Daddy understands? I think Dad understands. I think this is going exactly how the daddy planned for this to go. Question number 4 says, now read this section from the story. Jeremy, don't eat it. I think it's poisonous or something. Why do you think the narrator blurts this out? Because the narrator does believe the pie is poisonous. What do you think he is afraid of? What do you think that the little boy is afraid of? What do you think he thinks will happen to Jeremy if he eats this pie? The story does not tell us directly, but you know what he thinks is going to happen to Jeremy. Write it. the story never spells out or tells us exactly how enemy pie works. From reading the story, what can you infer? What can you infer? What can you figure out about how enemy pie works? I would like for you to write that here. Tomorrow, we will talk some more about the words in bold, our vocabulary words, and I have some little video cards for those that y'all are familiar with. All right, get busy, finish up.